Ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome in the studio Mr. George Makredes. His roots go way back to Asia Minor and also in through the brick bottom of Somerville, Mass. He is a musician and the proud son of a Greek immigrant family and a wonderful person who has just put together compositions in a new CD, Roads West of the City. Kalimera, George.
Kalimera, Meleti. How
So
are you?
good. How are you? It's so nice to have you in the studio. You've made it through the snow and everything.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
Yeah, it's really great. So tell us now. When did you just release the CD?
Right. It was towards the end of February when we released the CD, and I'm very gratified by the reaction so far I've been getting from different folks. So it's nice.
That's good. Now you released it. You did a wide release, so you went out on YouTube
Right.
and on Amazon
Spotify.
and
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah.
And how did you set that up? Did you have some assistance there?
Well, there's an outfit or a company rather called CD Baby,
Right.
and they do that service.
Yeah.
Through them, they release all this information to the different platforms, digital platforms, and that's how the music gets out to those locations. So
Oh, that's fantastic.
yeah.
So CD Baby and Amazon and Spotify, and
Yeah.
we'll be talking about those as we go on, but we want to talk about the actual CD. Why don't we start, give us a chance to sip some coffee, and start with the first track, which is Lucas the Gallant One.
Yes, well,
Tell us about that, B.
that song was inspired by my grandson Lucas.
Oh, really?
Believe it or not.
I was envisioning that it was your great grandfather and he was like going through on a camel or something.
No, he's he's right now the person with the surname Makredes going forward.
No
But
kidding.
he's a fine young man. He's all of 9 years old right now. He's on his way to 10 this
Yeah.
year. But anyway, the song is one that actually came to me while he was in his high chair. We were singing along, and this song came to mind. I go, "Oh my goodness, where's this coming from?" And I laid it out, and it worked out fine. It's fine.
There you have it.
Yeah.
So here it is from his new CD. It's an original composition by George Makredes from the CD West, Roads West of the City. Lucas, the Gallant One. Lucas, the Gallant One from the new CD by George Makredes, Roads West of the City. So, and George, you were saying you got that from looking at your grandson?
Yeah. He was sitting there in his high chair and looking up at me, and I'm looking at him, and bingo, the song came. So
It's of course has that Asia Minor feel to it, right?
I think so. Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
So now the sound quality is incredible on the CD, and I've listened to a lot of CDs, and this you really did put quite a bit into this. Whose ear is behind this CD?
Well, we have to thank Meletios Kordis,
Okay.
who was the recording engineer, arranger, and
Excellent.
orchestrations coordinator
Excellent.
So,
Excellent.
yeah.
Professor Lefteris
Yeah,
Koridis.
professor, yes.
Yeah.
Doctor,
Doctor.
if we want to be precise. Yes.
And we're so fortunate to have him here in the area. And you collaborated also with other people here, as I see. Billy Nicholson was played
Yep.
bouzouki,
Yep.
and Mel Barsimian on oud and clarinet.
Yeah, that's correct.
And also you had collaborated with Makis Emanuelidis. Now, did he play on this? Or
No, Makis gave me was the lyricist on,
He was the
on the
lyricist.
two songs with lyrics,
Yeah.
and that was his role, but really a significant one. So
You know, it's funny. I know people that say, oh, I won't listen to the song if it doesn't have vocals.
yeah,
Well, you know something? What I found in your music, because most of it's on instrumentals.
that's right.
But they are, in fact, lyric in themselves. The music themselves. I found myself hearing stories.
I'm so glad you said that. I tell you, because that was my intent, to tell a story without having to tell the story.
It worked. It really worked. So tell us about Going to Smyrna, which is the next track. Where did that
Well,
come?
it evokes memories that we had. My family and I who had gone to Alatsata and to Asia Minor, and we took the bus from Alatsata to Smyrna, and it was quite an experience, because we didn't go with a tour group. We went on our own.
You did.
And oh yeah, I mean, it was a very hot day, for example, and during mid-ride there'd be this gentleman coming down the aisle with a towel and some looked like it was flavored water. Apparently, it was orange water. That's what it was. And everyone was freshening up their face and their hands with this
that's
orange
so
water.
Great.
I mean, it was just the whole thing, the bumpy ride, the whole thing. So anyway, this next song was. It was pretty much about that. It evokes that experience.
Going to Smyrna.
Yeah.
What a great, great song. Nice sirto, huh?
It is.
Going to Smyrna, and that was from the new CD, Roads West of the City. And we have Mr. George Makredes in the studio here. You know, we're so fortunate, George, because I think I can count the composers here of the Greek American composers on my hand, the ones that are here in the city. And you, of course, have put out other music. You had that beautiful CD that you had done, the Christmas music, and that was a while
20
back,
years ago.
20 years ago. Now, are any of these folks, were they involved in that? I don't think so. Left Eddie wasn't around.
No, Leftetti was not
Oh,
around
so
there.
these are all new parea.
Yeah, Pare.
New parea.
Yeah.
But it's nice that you collaborate.
Yeah. And some of the, a lot of it just fell into place, I guess is what I want to say as well. So, which was nice.
Tell me, George, about the cover of this. This is a nice packaging, by the way, for those of you that go to purchase the CD. There's a lot of time has been put in the packaging, and I remember, growing up with those LPs. And you got it, and you felt it, and you learned, and it
Sure.
became part of it.
Sure.
And I love the cover.
Yeah.
And let's describe the cover. Go ahead.
Sure. Well, a lot of the packaging for this and the notes, especially, the tribute to my wife Leona, who did a lot of the editing and
Oh.
contributions of how things should be worded.
Oh, really? How's
Yeah.
Leona doing?
Yeah. Well, she's great.
She's
Fine.
great. I
Yeah.
like. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And well, we wanted to cite the immigrants coming to this country. That's the theme of the album, the immigrants' point of view.
Yeah.
And of course, New York City was the landing point for the majority of immigrants coming from Greece.
That's right.
So that's why you see the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island on the cover.
Yes, that's it.
yeah.
I couldn't figure out. I've been to Ellis Island. Have you
Yeah.
been?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you find your grandparents?
We it was quite a time ago, but yes, we did. Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's beautiful. So that tells the story. And west of the city,
In other words, west of Constantinople.
in
the
other
city
words,
being
coming here,
Constantinople. Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Oh, right.
That's right.
Okay, that's right. Because they called it the Poli, right?
That's right. The Poli. That's right.
Yeah, that's excellent. So where is Eritrea?
Well, Eritrea is actually the landmass
Yep.
where you find Alasata and Chesme, and so it's like the region, if you will.
This
of
is
Asia
good
Minor.
that you're explaining this to me. So I've always thought that your folks were from your grandparents were from Alatsata, but is
Yeah, Alasata, and one grandmother was from Chesme, so I don't have a
Chesme,
complete pedigree
okay.
from Alasata.
okay. Is is there another? Is there Fokia? Is there or
Yeah,
Fokias?
there's a Fokia, yeah.
Fokia, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I was trying to.
And there's a Rizdere. There's different towns.
this
Vilas, yeah.
Incredible. So this next song, we're just going to put a little komati of it,
Sure.
just so you can get a flavor, because they're all different, a little bit different each
Right.
song.
This next one was inspired by the trip we took to Eritrea from Chios. There's a ferry boat that goes from Chios to Eritrea,
Right.
to Asia Minor.
Yeah.
And you're leaving Greece and you're going into a Turkish land, if you will. And you're approaching it, and there's this huge sign that says "Welcome" in Greek, not in Greek, but it's in Italian, in English, and I think there was another language I forget, but no, not in Greek.
Not in Greek.
And you came from Greece, and anyway.
What years about were you making these journeys, by
Oh
the
my
way?
God,
Because you
it's
mentioned
been a while. I think we were there. I want to say 2002, maybe 2000, and
yeah.
maybe another 20 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's hear a little bit of the journey to Eritrea. Music from the new CD, Roads West of the City by George Makredes, Journey to Eritrea. It's a Tifteteli, George, right? So tell me, now the Tiftetelia did come from that side of the
Sure. I believe
roads
so.
east of the Poli, right?
I'm going to say so, yes.
But we celebrate them here. You know, it's really funny. Where did you grow up, George? Was it in the Brick Bottom?
Actually, it was in Somerville when Brookbottom was in Somerville, but my shared spaces of where I grew up was also Brick Bottom because I spent an awful lot of time there at my grandparents' homes,
Yeah.
and overnights and what have you. And really, I pretty much consider that like a second home, if you will. It was I spent a lot of time there.
Well, the church was there.
Yeah, the
Or
church was nearby.
It was nearby.
Yeah, but everything was nearby. It was like when you go to Disney World now and they've got these different ethnic lands. Brook Bottom could have been one of those lands back then for Greek.
We should let people know that you and I had talked years ago when I went to give a talk on the music and culture of the Brick Bottom in 2014. I was to learn that you had done a lot of research and you had mapped out the old community, and you
Yeah.
have a little booklet that you've put together,
Right.
and you can see the old neighborhood and there was a couple of different spins of it.
Yeah.
But that was remarkable work, and you've given some talks, including one recently. I think that an indelible memory, which unfortunately I missed. That was presented by the Boston
Oh, yes,
Legion.
that's right. That's right. That was most recent. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good to see you out and still doing that, George. And you're very involved with Saint Athanasios the Great.
Well, try to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you still teaching?
Well, no.
No.
The last couple of years, I have not been. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, you are a
I took
teacher
my
at
Sunday school
Hartford.
pension. So.
Oh, you did. That's good. Lots of love to last a lifetime. That's all you need. It's really, really great, George. So the next track that we'd like to just play a little bit of is a track called "In the Armenian Quarter," and I had played it a week ago and received phone calls right away and a text message, and and they were saying, "Oh, that's just beautiful music." Now, the
Right.
Armenian Quarter, the Greeks and the Armenians are very close.
Right. Well, there was
Yeah.
different quarters in Smyrna.
Mm.
There was the Greek quarter, there was the Armenian quarter, there was I think there was a French one as well.
Yeah.
Um,
It was a cosmopolitan city, but
yeah,
the
yeah.
Armenian,
And there was the Turkish quarter.
and then there was the Turkish quarter, and economically they were probably on the lower scale, where the Armenians and then the Greeks were very accomplished.
I would have to
and,
guess that. I don't know that for a fact, but I would guess that you were right on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Have you spoken, by the way, with Yorgos Topalidis, who is doing
Oh, yeah.
the oral histories? You
Oh,
have?
sure.
Oh, good,
I
good,
have,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a huge oral history project that's going on. It's funded, and it's located somewhere in Florida. And there's a fellow who travels the country and sets up these interviews. And I remember hearing of it, and I thought, boy, I really hope he gets to George. And you must have pointed him to some other people in the area. And
Yeah, we met. It's been a while ago though, but since
It's been a while,
when he came
yeah.
by, yeah.
That's good. And I have an interview with you, too, going back in 2014 when you sat with me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, sometime we'll play it. But tell us about in the Armenian Quarter now. This is from again, just a vision of what you thought that might be like.
Yeah, the music on the CD is structured so that the first few songs are life while you were in Asia Minor, while our grandparents or my grandparents were in Asia Minor, and then it culminates with the loss of the homeland, and then their trip here, and then their life here. So the Armenian Quarter is just a song to devote to the Armenian folks who suffered along with everyone else during the hard times in Asia Minor.
The track is in the Armenian Quarter, and it's from the new CD by George Makredes, and we have him here in the studio. These are original compositions, and together as a CD, it just works thematically, and I think that's what made it so enjoyable for me listening to it all the way through. We're going to, just in the interest of time, we're going to jump around a little bit and ask George to talk about the next track that we want to play and what it's about. It seems to be a turning point in the journey. The track is entitled New Land, New Beginning. What are we talking about, George?
Well, in Greek, it's nea yi, nea archi, which addresses the emotional and heart-wrenching situations where our first pioneer immigrants made the trip here from Asia Minor, either before the catastrophe or after the catastrophe. After the catastrophe, they were leaving from Piraea and other places in Greece to come here. And before that, they were actually leaving from Asia Minor. And the emotional thing is they were forced to leave in so many words because there was no future for them where they were. So there they are saying goodbye to their mother and father for the last time because they probably weren't going to see them again. Because this isn't like today where you can fly back and forth.
No, right.
5,000-mile trip back then took 6 to 8 weeks to travel by boat to come here.
In a boat, probably without stabilizers. Everyone was sick.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know.
And then anyone passing, dying on the way would be buried at sea. So one trauma on top of another trauma.
Could I ask you just a couple of questions now? Because I've heard this from so many people that I've interviewed that a lot of the people from Asia Minor were discriminated against because a lot of them were more darker complected, or they just listened to different music. They were just a little bit off, and even in
discriminated by whom?
By Greeks.
By the Greeks, right? Okay, yes.
Is that
discriminated
right?
by the Greeks in Greece.
Yes.
In Greece.
Yes.
Because they had developed their own dialect or language, if you will, not so much dialect, but language. And their own culture was separate from theirs, different.
Yeah.
Not to mention the music was different.
Right.
Because the music that we're listening to did not exist in Greece.
Well, probably the associations for them with what they knew about it was this Eastern-facing music that you know,
Exactly.
the snakes in the basket and the hashish pipes and all of this kind of
all the negative stereotype.
The negative. So how has it been for you? How do you? Because in your band, you weren't just playing music from Asia Minor. You played the full range. You would play. I remember you had a clarinetist. What was Dimo? Dimo would get out and you played the motika. You play, a full range of music.
Yeah.
You're okay with it?
Oh yeah, of course. There was no problem with that. We had no problem with it. Hey, other people's. They said, who are these Greeks? What kind of Greeks are these? Is it different? We're not accustomed to this type of a Greek, and that's what was. It wasn't so much a distaste, but like a reaction of, wow, this is different. These folks are different. So
it's different. Wow. So in the New Land, New Beginning,
it begins sadly because of they're leaving their parents, they're leaving their homeland. It starts to break out a little bit into a little bit more cheerfulness as they're into open waters, and then it spikes up when they reach New York City, and then into their life of their own finally here, establishing. I mean, without them, we wouldn't have today's churches and community centers and what have you, and communities, period, in the place where there's, immigrants are responsible for this, all the pioneer immigrants. So, anyway, this is a tribute to them.
Okay, here we go. New Land, New Beginning, the track from the new CD from George Makredes, Roads West of the City. And so now the family is here in America. And that's basically, it's funny because I listened to the different rhythms on the CD. We pointed out a Tifteteli earlier and a Sirto. And now just at the end of this song, it goes into a little of a Kasilama, a 9/8, no, is it 9/8?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
9/8, and it's just wonderful. We grew up with a lot of Quasilamades, certainly with a lot of Tiftetelia, and when I remember my parents dancing a funny kind of Zembekiko, and we always used to look at. They used to pause. My father called it a double Zembekiko. He was thinking of an Aptaliko, and I later experienced it when I went to in Somerville to a dance back in the '80s where the Makredes Orchestra was playing, and I saw the community dancing in a way that it's almost if you go into a community that has traditions from Ipiros, you're going to see them really dig into the ground, and as it was for in Somerville to see this wonderful tradition. And again, we have to thank our friends over the Boston Likion Alinivon. It's one of our last strongholds of tradition. And God love the work that they do, and I know that you have collaborated with them, George. Um, I want to thank you again so much for coming in.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was my pleasure.
We could go on for another hour and talk for another day, and it's just so nice to see you. All of the compositions on the CD are yours, except two that you collaborated. Both it was you and Makis Emanuelidis.
Right. Well, the music was my music, and the Manis provided the lyrics.
He was the lyricist, right? Now, would you consider if someone came to you and said, really like that song? Do you mind? Could I put some lyrics to it? You'd have to take it on a case by case, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. But it's just a beautiful CD, and once again, it's available on Amazon.
Actually, not Amazon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Everyone except Amazon.
Good.
So,
Kalana Pathone. Right, we'll go with CD Baby.
yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah.
And
Tidal, and there's a couple of others out there. Yeah.
Well, I like CD Baby. I have an account there, and I purchase CDs. I think you said it's $12. If anyone wants to purchase the CD, it's
Right.
it's beautiful, and it's absolutely congratulations
Thank
on
you.
a wonderful work. Let's go to this. I love the lyrics on this, by the way. I have to
Okay.
tell,
All
but
right.
the music and the lyrics, they work well together. And is this you singing on this?
Yeah. What happened was I had lyrics for these two songs, and my lyrics, of course, were not as polished as they should be for Greek music, and the Makis polished them up and also added some other lyrics in there which were great, and so I'm thankful it came out the way it did.
It's really great. So we're going to ask you to listen to the lyrics because it's just perfect for the title, The Refugee's Lament, by George Makredes with lyrics by Makis Emanuelidis.
Ήρθα ένα παιδί εργατικό σαν σκλάβος στη δουλειά. Όσο και να το προσπαθώ, θέλω τα 10, κάνω 2, σκληρή κοινωνία. Στο ξημερώμα αναχωρώ και τα βράδια επιστρέφω στη γειτονιά που περπάρτω το φεγγάρι οδηγός, αχ ζωή πως αντέχω. εσύ κάθε μέρα μου κυλά. Μα εγώ δεν βγάζω μια κουβέντα. Τα πάντα για τη φαμίλια και η ελπίδα με κρατά. Θα έρθει μια άσπρη μέρα.
The Refugees Lament. Great lyrics, by the way. Excellent music, and I'll be full of joy when I hear it at some function out someday. So the DJ should pick up on this as well. It's a great CD.
Well, thank you so much for saying so and for thinking so. I appreciate that very much.
Oh, George, thank you for coming in on the day after what they described as Armageddon. Look,
Yeah,
we're
that
alive.
was-
Υποφέρομαι.
Yeah.
Right?
Φτάσαμε.
And so I want to thank George you for coming in and wish you all the best, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you. Same to you, my friend. Karisarakosi.
Επίσης. Ladies and gentlemen, that was George Makredes visiting here in the studio and discussing his new CD, Roads West of the City. Stay tuned. We have coming up at the top of the hour, the news report with Nicoletta.